Yo, what's up guys? Welcome into a brand new video over on PrizePicks. I got my 3 favorite plays for you today because we got USA going up against Australia in the World Cup round 2. It's going to be absolutely huge. But first up, do me a huge favor, drop a like on this one. It takes you 2 seconds, completely free. If we get to 30 likes in this one, everybody's getting free VIP for the entire weekend. So Saturday, Sunday, you guys can get free VIP. Just get to 30 likes in this video. Now let's talk about the absolutely insane game we got going on. So just look at this elite graphic Fox put out. I'm just super hyped for this game. USA versus Australia. We're going to go through 3 picks for USA Australia in this game on PrizePicks. And then I'm going to drop in 2 more bonus picks for esports because we do have some big esports stuff going on. But now, first up, we always do this. We're going to recap the day before. And guys, this should say 18. The day before was honestly not that great. On the VIP, we've been going through a little bit of a rough stretch and we've gotten a little bit unlucky, honestly. Like these guys are missing by just 3 kills here. This guy missing by literally just 0.5, like literally 1. This guy rebooted, sort of been a great cash here. And then we're having plays like this where it's correlation perfect, right? These guys are correlated together. These guys are correlated together and they're just not going our way, right? We're getting a green duo here, but a red duo here, a red duo here, and a red duo here. We're still getting correlated picks, but they're just not going our way some of these times. And it is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Here's another one. This sort of paid out like 9x, I think, but this guy gets 2 less kills. He literally wins 2 games, in the last game, he's winning 23-9, and he still can't get a single kill. Really unfortunate stuff. But this is what I'm always going to say, guys. In the green streaks, you got to keep your mental solid. In the red streaks, you got to keep your mental solid. I don't even feel too bad. I don't even feel too angry about this stuff because I know when we win, I'm not super over the moon. Like, I enjoy the wins, right? The wins feel good, but I'm not absolutely at the highest of my highs because I know a lot of that was just luck, right? You're going to have good variants, you're going to have bad variants. We're going through a little bit of a rough streak right now, and I know our strategies work. So I'm going to continue pressing. I'm going to continue, just firing slips without a care in the world, because I know they are profitable slips. Whether they hit or whether they lose, you're looking at it too narrowly. You got to look at it in the long run. We do win and profit on these picks. And this is a setup that we already have going into today. So very good there. If the VIP can get these 2 guys to hit their pass attempted, we would cash this. Now, on the free picks, I sent out 1 play on Discord yesterday, which was this one, which greened out for these. This was another 3-man I sent out that you guys could have cashed out with us on. And then on the YouTube slip, unfortunately, Sun does not get any shots. Not exactly true. He got 2 shots in the first half alone, but they were both called back for offsides. It was very, very unfortunate. Like literally a matter of inches right there. And the entire game was way more boring than expected. I heard people saying predictions for like 3-3, maybe even like a 2-2, super thrilling game. It ended 1-0 and the goal was probably the worst goal we've seen yet in the World Cup. The goalie grabs it, his own defender hits him in the chest, he bobbles the ball, and then the Mexican guy just hits it into the goal because there's nobody in net. It was a ridiculous goal, a ridiculous game, honestly. Everyone hit their unders, and we got cooked because of that. Steven hit the over though, and Derek rebooted, so the rest of that would have been perfect. But guys, it is what it is. Today I'm going to drop in some more bonus plays for you guys because we've got a huge game today. We got to be absolutely locked in for this USA game. Now, make sure you guys are joining up on the Discord because I'm focusing mostly on the USA game today. But that being said, focusing on the USA game, we do still have some quite a few good games. Like this is just the first game of the day. We have Scotland, Morocco, then Brazil, Haiti, then Turkey, Paraguay, or Turkey, Paraguay. There are a lot of good games today, and I'm just going to be focusing on the USA Australia one in this video, but I'm going to be sending out picks for all these games. If you guys want to get these picks and get in for free, all you got to do is join up on the Discord. It's a 100% free community that I run up here, and you guys can lock in. We got, I think, over 1,500 members now. You guys can just, join up in the Discord, start winning with us. This is where I sent out the Fenrir pick. Green, this another one. This is where I send out some more soccer picks, green out these soccer picks. If you guys are not in the Discord, join up in there. I just send out PrizePicks slips in there for free. You guys can lock in, make some money with us. Now, that link will be in the comments of this video, by the way. Now, let's talk about the game for the day. So yeah, USA versus Australia. Let's just talk schematically. How is this game going to function? Well, let's look at how both of these teams did in their first game of the World Cup. This is their second game in the World Cup. USA, I'm sure you guys have all heard by now, absolutely slammed Paraguay 4-1 last Friday, exactly a week ago, and it wasn't even close, right? USA controlled possession by a ton. They had 65% of possession here, which is very, very good, right? When you have more possession, typically you're going to win, but we're going to see something about that later on. And because these guys had a lot of possession, all their players went on the over for their pass attempts. Tim Ream went on the over for his pass attempts. He got, He got around, I can't even find it right now. Here it is. He got 90 passes. Chris Richards got like 85 passes or something. Alex Freeman went ahead and got 74 passes. All of these guys are getting, he went 84 for 84, absolutely huge for Richards, but all these guys are getting a ton of passes here. and they're getting a lot of possession. They're getting a lot of possession. The way they played against Paraguay was very smart. They moved the ball around super fast. They dribbled with pace. They attacked the opposition, and they got their star man, Christian Pulisic, who really broke down the mid-block that Paraguay were running. But guys, as someone who knows this game and as someone who has been watching basically every single World Cup game at this point, I don't think I missed a game. Even the ones at like 12 a.m., I'm there. This Australia team is way better than Paraguay. This Australia team plays a completely different style than Paraguay. Paraguay were setting up in kind of a mid-block where they were kind of just chilling in the middle of the field, trying to be somewhat compact, but also press. Australia doesn't do any of that, man. They know exactly who they are. The way Australia plays is this is their formation right here. This is their formation. This is the most defensive formation you could ever see. They have one attacker, one guy right here. They subbed him out. They actually ended up playing him, subbing him out for a defender who ended up playing more defense. The way Australia played was they bunched all their guys into literally the back third of the game. It's called a low block in soccer. And I think the low block actually kind of has a double meaning, because block is in like you're blocking the shot. You're going to get a lot of blocked shots, especially Sutar right here and Burgess. But the low block really means like, think of it like a brick, right? It's a brick that is positioned very far back on your field. You are literally basically using your 10 players, not the goalie, your other 10 players to be a second goal, right? You are just going to like hole up the entire box. Imagine like Victor Wembanyama in the paint, right? Except you got like 5 centers. That's all you do. All you do is stop shots in the paint. Like if they're going to shoot threes, you can have them to shoot threes, right? It's not as easy to shoot threes in soccer, right? Nobody's going to make a shot from half field. It's very unlikely. So that's the way Australia plays. They're going to absolutely hole up, turtle up, and just let USA come at them. That's the way Australia plays. And guys, why are they not going to change this? Because it worked to perfection against Turkey. Turkey got 72% of possession. Elite. They dominated the entire ball. They had so much more possession than Australia. Only 28, of course. And they got a lot of passes, of course. But who won this game? Australia won 2-0, and it was pretty convincing. Australia had a lot of saves, a lot of blocked shots. They just allowed the pressure to come to them and shut Turkey down on the defensive end. And they scored a couple goals on the counterattack. This Metcalf one was actually kind of a banger. Now, talking about how this game is going to go. You got USA, who controlled possession in game 1 against Paraguay, beat Paraguay when they were playing with a mid-block. And then you got Australia, who were perfectly content to not control the possession at all, 28% of possession, against Turkey, who were favored in that game. Turkey were technically the better team. I told you guys Turkey were not that good. We took Australia money line in the court and cashed out in the VIP. But Australia didn't care. And they will still not care. You got USA, who was controlling possession, Australia, who was not controlling possession. And they both got to win. What's going to happen here? They're going to continue with these same strategies, guys. USA is going to really press, offensive press, try to get the ball back. And Australia is just going to be like, sure, take the ball. They're going to clear the ball a ton in this game and just force USA to try to break them down defensively. And we will see how this one goes. But getting into the picks, hopefully that schematic explanation made some sense. If it didn't make sense, or if you guys want your own take, drop it in the comments. Of course, I really like to talk ball with y'all. But the plays that we're going to go ahead and take today, right over here, we're going to start off with Chris Richards on the over at 79.5 pass attempted. Then we're going to go over to Weston McKennie here on the over at 42.5 pass attempt. Now, the reason I like both these guys, starting off with Chris Richards, right? We want to take one of the defenders, one of the center backs on the over on passes attempted. We don't want to take them both because PrizePicks will hurt our payouts a lot. And the reason we like Richards more than Ream is actually, I think Tim Ream might struggle in this game. I think Tim Ream is obviously not as fast as Chris Richards, right? Chris Richards is a way faster player than Tim Ream. Tim Ream is a very good player, and he's very good in the air, aerial duels, slow possession games, right? But the way Australia is going to come out the defenders, right? The way Australia is going to try to score in this game is by pure pace on the counterattack. If you guys understand, if you want to see a little bit explanation of what this might look like, look at Australia's first goal against Turkey. They absolutely cooked them on the counterattack. Tim Ream is not the kind of guy that can keep up with that. That is a big scare. As a USA fan, that is one of my biggest, I'm a little bit scared about that. Coming into this game, Tim Ream is way slower than the center backs that got cooked, last round. He's way slower than that. So Chris Richards here, I like him on the over. The reason I'm talking all about Tim Ream is because if they do score a lot on the counterattack, or they get a lot of good chances on the counterattack, Tim Ream might actually get subbed out. Or they might just start playing him in a little bit of a different position, which would hinder his ability to get passes. Chris Richards here, I see him being the furthest back player, the sweeper almost, and really initiating the offense for USA. Now, Wesley McKennie here is the creator, and I would be very careful, just by the way, to all of you guys watching this, I'd be very careful to take any plays on Christian Pulisic. It looks like he might not play very much, and I mean, I guess you could play it and then hope that he gets rebooted, but I would just stay away from Pulisic altogether. I just don't think it's worth it. He's looking kind of injured, and he hasn't even been practicing with the team the last couple of days, so I just don't think it's a good spot. He might not even play at all, but just be careful with Pulisic. Wesley McKennie here, on the other hand, though, 51 passes against Paraguay. He is very much the initiator for this team, and he did play in this cam position. I think he could even zoom back a little bit here, and I like Tillman on the over too. Both of these guys are very solid, but the point is, the entire USA team is going to possess the ball a ton, so I like both of these guys on the over. Now, getting into the third play for the game, USA versus Australia. We're going to run this as a 3-man. We're going over and sticking in pass attempted, guys, and we're taking Patrick Beach on the over at 28.5 pass attempted for Australia. Now, those of you guys who have been following the strategies might go, wait a minute, Bam. You said USA is going to control possession, so they're going to get more passes. So why are we now switching it up and taking an Australia player over on passes? That's got to be negative correlation. And that might seem right. Of course, if we take a guy like Burgess or a guy like O'Neal or a guy like Metcalf on the over on passes, that would be negative correlation. But it's different for the goalkeeper. And let me explain why. For a goalkeeper, every time they rack up a pass, it's oftentimes a clear. It is not the way that a typical defender, a center back, racks up their passes. They're passing it back and forth to the center back, to the DM, to the keeper, and they're just getting short passes along the ground. I would say around 90% of these 28.5 passes that Breach is projected to get are going to be long clears, whether that comes from goal kicks, whether that comes from punts, whether that comes from long throws. Even the rolls that he gets after a hit or after a catch is a pass attempted. And a lot of the times, especially Australia does this, and basically every team that's just trying to play the low block, once they get the ball back and USA is going to counter press them, right? USA is going to really be very aggressive, basically a full court press. They're going to pass it to the goalie, and the goalie is going to send that all the way to the other side or as far as possible to basically just full clear it, right? I think when you're getting full court press in basketball, like the goalkeeper's not going to turn into prime Kyrie Irving and just dribble past the entire USA team, right? He's going to send that as far as he can, and they're just going to clear the ball and then get back in the defensive formation and continue playing. So this is a good way to get correlation here. You take one team on the over on passes attempted, then you take the opposing team goalkeeper on the over on passes attempted right here. And guys, you might be wondering, why are we still messing around with passes, man? Why can't we just take goals? Why can't we just take shots? Why can't we take something interesting? The reason we're taking passes is because even though it looks like I just showed you guys 3 separate picks for the US versus Australia game, I'm not showing you guys 3 separate picks. I'm showing you guys 1. PrizePicks is paying us as if we're playing 3 picks, but we're actually just making 1 bet. And let me explain why that is. That is a correlation method. All 3 of these players are correlated together. Our 1 bet is this. We are betting that the USA controls possession for, I would say, 65+% of the time, and Australia plays their low block. And that's obviously correlated, right? When USA controls possession a lot and Australia plays very defensive, if that's the way these two teams line up, which is what is projected to happen, then Chris Richards will get a lot of passes. USA defenders are going to get a lot of passes back and forth as they're going to try to initiate the offense. They're the ones that are going to be holding onto the ball, passing it back and forth. When you guys are staring at the TV going, what is going on? This is super boring. USA players are going to have the ball then, not Australia players. Australia players will be back in their own half, defending, set up in a low block, and every time they get the ball, they're going to pass it to their keeper, who's going to send it. So Chris Richards is going to get more passes. McKennie's going to get more passes because USA is dominating the possession. They're going to get more offense in there. And every time Australia gets the ball, they're going to pass it to their goalie, and their goalie is going to send it to the other side or send it as far as possible down the field. So all of these are just saying one thing. If USA has and controls possession, we get paid out a 5.5x. We don't need 3 separate things to happen. We just need 1. And that's the beauty of correlation. And that's exactly how we can dominate esports, soccer, all this stuff and get results like this, 48 units in the first couple weeks of June. It's crazy, right? That's the way we do this. Now, that's all I got for the soccer portion of this video, but I do want to talk about a couple quick esports picks, and we're going to just get right into it. We're going over to the Cologne Major, and we're going to go over to the Underdog Fantasy app, because guys, Underdog Fantasy is way better when it comes to taking plays, straight picks, 2-mans, and 3-mans. And the reason why this is because they are just a better app. If you guys get code BAM sign up on Underdog. If you guys sign up on Underdog using code BAM, you can get 30 days of free VIP. Should have mentioned that at the beginning, but here we are. If you're in any of these yellow states, you're going to go right there. And if you play your first $5, you're going to have 50 bucks. Super good. And this is the most important thing. When you play a 2-man, you don't get paid out 3x, man. Underdog's doing it differently. You get paid out 3.5x. That is a huge difference. 3.5x versus 3x is literally the difference between hitting and profiting when you're at a 55% hit rate and a 57% hit rate. Like, it's actually ridiculous. So let's get into the underdog plays real quick. We're going to go for Hunter and Kyosuke on the unders on their maps 1 through 2 kills. Now, the reason we like these ones, I'm going to not spend too much time on this. The reason we like these ones is because they're both on the team that I expect to lose, and I expect these teams to not lose very close. I think it's going to be a little bit of a blowout. G2 are by far and away the underdogs against Team Spirit. Team Spirit are one of the best teams in the world right now. They're the best team in the world right now. They're playing the most informed team, and they're absolutely cooking. And when you lose in Counterstrike, this is Counterstrike betting, when you lose in Counterstrike, especially when you lose fast, there's going to be a shorter game. A shorter game is means less kills, especially for the team that lost. So Hunter here is one of the members of G2. I think he's going to end up losing this one. And Kyosuke plays for Team Falcons, who is a very good team. Let's say a top 4 team in the world, but they're not as good as Team Vitality, who are literally the dynasty. Think the Jordan's Bulls. Think one of the most recent dynasties. I guess you could say the Shea OKC if you really want to be like that. Vitality have been all that good for like 3 years in a row now. They're the favorites to win this event, and they should win this game pretty convincingly, meaning Kyosuke will not get very many kills in this one. It's also worth mentioning that Hunter and Kyosuke, if you look at it over on PrizePicks, which we can take these guys out. If you look at it over on PrizePicks and you just look up Hunter, you can get him at 24.5. And if you look at Kyosuke, you can get him at 31.5. So Kyosuke's line is the exact same, but Hunter's line is actually one higher on Underdog, meaning we're getting a little bit more value here, because if he gets exactly 25 kills, which is, it's decently likely, then we will cash on Underdog and we will lose on PrizePicks. But the most important thing, guys, is if you put $100 on this, you're getting paid out $350. You literally just can't beat that. $100 equals $350 on Underdog, but on PrizePicks, you guys know exactly what I'm gonna go show you. $100 equals only $300. So PrizePicks is scamming you when it comes to 2-mans. They're just straight up scamming you. So take these two guys on Underdog, man. Thank me later. And these are gonna be the 2 picks for today. Hunter and 350. Hunter, Kyosuke. Absolutely love these 2 guys. And that'll be all for today. I appreciate you guys watching the video. Drop a comment if you appreciate the esports, the soccer. Let me know what you guys want to see more of, because straight up, the channel's been going crazy. Like, we were getting 100 views a video like a couple months ago. Now it's like almost 1,000 on some of these videos. So I really do appreciate the support, and I really want to hear from you guys. What do you guys want to hear on this? What do you guys want to see on this channel? What do you guys want to know more about these strategies? Which type of picks? Which type of sports? And yeah, that's all I got. I appreciate y'all watching the video, and let's make some money on the World Cup and esports on Friday.